Now there is a rule that I stick by when I'm not sure about an anime. I watch the first 3 episodes and decide from there whether I want to continue or not. Most of the time I know by the first episode, but if I'm kind of on the fence, I will totally give it the 3-episode rule. Now I hope all of you have given it a try, and maybe by the end of this episode you will have decided to stick with it, and I hope you do, because this has proven to be one of my favorite series this season, battling only probably with Skip and Loafer. So we begin. Episode 3, Why Raeliana Trained in the Domestic Arts. In this episode, Raeliana moved into the Wind mansion, where she was greeted by not 1 but 4 butlers. Gideon, the head butler, who is evidently proud of the lineage and history of the house, gives her a tour that takes several hours and that basically wears her out. By the end of it, she's in her bedroom groaning about how she's expected to know all these things and wondering whether they're bullying her, when she realizes that Noah has been in her room all the time. She is shocked because it's freaking creepy that some guy suddenly enters your room without permission, but he brushes it off. Of course, he has the advantage that he's hot and that he is the male lead, so obviously we're gonna give him a pass and totally ignore the red flags there. And they have a banter there going on. First off, she asks for privacy, and he replies that she's gonna be disappointed if she expects that. And then they talk about the various expectations that they're gonna have going forward. She asked how many people know about their arrangement. There's only 2 people so far that know. One of them is Adam, of course, and the other one remains to be seen. Meanwhile, he tells Raeliana to take bridal training, but he doesn't expect much from her at all. She replies that she's not even gonna kill herself over it. Good. But she does ask that he drop the formalities and at least call her Raeliana. Nevertheless, that is a double-edged sword, because if she wants him to call her Raeliana and not you, then she's gonna have to reciprocate and call him Noah. He does the get up all in your face and call me Noah. Of course she was flustered and it was super awkward, though part of me was like, this is kinda hot. And I must say again, when I read the webcomic, I really didn't find much appeal with Noah. He was just kinda like a little scary, but I didn't really find him very appealing. I thought that she was the more interesting character and Adam Taylor was the more interesting male character, just because he's adorable. But I'm beginning to see the appeal in Noah Windknight, despite the fact that he has a bunch of red flags. There's a primal part in my brain that just likes it, so we're gonna roll with it. Of course, she hates the fact that she gets flustered, and once he leaves, she starts punching the pillow, imagining that it is him. He sees her doing that, but rather than get upset, he actually laughs about it later on. Furthermore, he asks Taylor what his impression of Raeliana is so far, and Taylor appears to think positively of her so far, which is kind of surprising. We get a small montage of her learning her social etiquette lessons, embroidery lessons, dancing lessons, all the stuff that she needs to do to become the perfect bride to Noah Windknight. But that all is wearing her out. One of the things that's important to notice is that because she is from Nouveau Riche family, they are basically inferior in education, so a lot of people expect her to be lacking in many ways, but she's actually surpassing everybody's expectations, especially with regards to mathematics. In the first video, I remarked quite unfairly that she did not even make any use of her modern world knowledge in this world, but I was wrong. She is using her advantage. Apparently, all that college education is coming in clutch here. Now, while she's studying, she finds some time to relax. She sits by the window, and who should appear but Noah? One of the things that I wish that they would have actually shown in the anime is the fact that he jumped in from the window, and that was pretty funny. It's been 2 weeks since she moved into the mansion, and they haven't really had any contact at all. She's gotten used to having a guard knight following her around everywhere. So he's like, hey, I hear that you're doing good, that you're excelling, everybody thinks you're perfect bridal material. I thought you weren't even gonna try. And she's like, well, I'm super bored and I'm learning for my own sake. Thank you very much. And of course, he's being his usual snarky kind of self. He brings her a bouquet of roses, which he lifts out of her reach when she goes to get it, basically playing around. Come on, dude. I think he just enjoys playing around with her. I don't know if he has any romantic interest at all, though. Raeliana does find this really irksome. She's not falling for him at all, and she finds him incredibly unpleasant, which is a refreshing change because by this time most of the animes would be like her falling head over heels for the mysterious Duke, and a single word of appreciation would have sent her into orbit, so this is really welcome. Noah tells her that she has to get ready, that they're gonna go to a party where they're gonna announce their engagement. This catches her off guard, but she has to give in to it because she has no other choice. So he summons forth one new character, and this is Nick. And Nick is basically a stylist, though he kind of scares Raeliana a little. She doesn't know whether she should trust him or if he's actually part of Noah's bullying, but Nick is a sweetheart. He totally gets her ready for the dance. He makes her look gorgeous. Not only that, but he seems to be coaching her a little bit on high society and what she can expect for this evening. Of course, we all love a makeover session, and that's what we get. And she actually ends up looking really stunning. So much so that Adam looks absolutely shocked. And when she presents herself to Noah's office, he looks stunned. Like, he has no word to say and just puts down his work and leaves. She is kind of like upset that he doesn't even give her a crumb of a compliment. But the butler, the good man, he whispers and says, don't worry, he's just being shy, too shy to compliment you. Which is surprising because the Noah we know would never be shy at all. And so they head on out to the party in that humongous carriage. And as they do, we also get a shot of another mysterious red-headed woman with really shaggy hair coming down the stairs of some other mansion, presumably going to the same party that they're going to. And from the looks of it, she seems to be a very proud kind of woman. Maybe she's the villainess of the book. Who knows? We will see. Not only that, but somewhere in her house, a young man looks out the window and sees her go for the party. Wonder who he is. Will it matter in the future? Raeliana continues to impress me by how it has the ability to make 20 minutes seem like 5 minutes. I don't know, suddenly I am in the middle of a really enjoyable episode and it's over. I don't get it. It's a mystery to me how it can do this. This is a sign of a really well-paced show, as well as excellent storytelling. Not surprising, considering the fact that many of the people that I've heard that have started the manhwa end up binging it within a few hours. It's a really great story and it clips along at a great pace. In this episode, we covered chapter 10 to 14, which makes it 5 chapters. And for the most part, they are always adapted really faithfully. Once more, I just have to note the differences in some of the panels, because while the anime adapts the panels just as they are in the webcomic, they do skip some of the little funny bits, like chibi scenes or little internal monologues that make it extra funny and extra cute. And for the most part, it doesn't really suffer for it, but there are some instances that I really would have preferred that they had stuck to a more comic-like style, if possible at all. Especially when Raeliana is having internal monologues on just how she finds Noah's attitude to be confusing and how she finds him suspicious. Also, my favorite panel is with Adam Taylor being confused. It's super cute in the comic, but I feel like we lost some of that funniness in the adaptation. Nick was a really welcome addition. I was afraid at first that they wouldn't strike a proper balance in the tone when it comes to his scenes. Despite all my gripes about how I wish they had taken advantage of the cutesy little panels that the manhwa has, I still am finding the anime incredibly beautiful. Despite its animation kind of clunkiness at some parts, it's still really, really beautifully made. And I look forward to the next one. We still don't know what Noah is thinking, we don't know how the relationship is going forward, but I bet that it's going to be a treat to see because those two together, they do have great chemistry. And that's an improvement over the manhwa, in my opinion. Alright, these are all my thoughts for this episode. I can't wait to read some of your comments and see what you all thought about this episode. What do you think about Raeliana and Noah? What are your impressions of him as a main character? Remember, if you like this content, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.